Hello, I'm Kurt, and this is project number 2 on the week of angular motion, and it's the Zunzun. That's what we call it. You can call it whatever you want. Very popular traditional toy you can make with a button and more stuff, and some string, and it takes some coordination, some rhythm. Gotta have the beat. All right, so first let's make it. Use a piece of cardstock or cardboard and a button, and we got enough stuff to make 2. You can make at least 2. So get your string. You want about this much. Doesn't really matter. Could be at this much or this much, but then you need twice that much. So you go there, and then you come back over to here and chop that off. Great. And then you got the 2 strings, and you put them through diagonally. If your button has 4 holes in it, put it through the diagonal 2 holes, and put one through one side and the other through the other side. And then you tie them at the end. One easy way to tie them is to put the 2 ends together and then tie it like a regular knot. Overhand knot, I think it's called, or half hitch or something, I don't know. And there it is. That's your whole project. I mean, it works with just the button. So you can get it, pull it with your fingers like that, and then you wind it up like that, and then you pull it. You start pulling it, and I made it look easy because I've been practicing this, but you have to pull in its rhythm. It has its own rhythm, and you can't pull at your rhythm. You have to try to follow its rhythm. So it's got this boom, 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 sort of a rhythm, and so I'm following it. I can go faster, boom, 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 but then I have to pull harder. I can't let it go all the way out. Boom, 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 boom. I can't go any faster than that. Boom, 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 boom. I can go slower if I pull lighter. Boom, 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 boom. But in the end, I'm following its frequency, its rhythm. All right? So there's that. Now, what you can do is you can cut out a circle. You make a circle, whatever size you want. I'm gonna make a circle like that. And it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. And you can chop it out. So once you get it chopped out, more or less circle, then find the center, more or less the center, and poke a little hole in it. It doesn't have to be a beautiful hole, any kind of hole. And then you take the string, you put the string through the hole, like that. Okay? And then you're gonna glue the button, back of the button onto the paper. Right? So you get your hot glue, you put a little bit of hot glue on the button. Try not to get too close to the string. You don't want to mess up the string. But then you could pull the string, line it up, and pull that button right onto the piece of paper like that. Right. Let it dry. Now it's bigger. So then you put your fingers through again and try it again. And now let's see what happens. Oh, check out what's going on. You see something different? It's very much different speed. Okay, it's not quite in the center. Put this back in the center. But did you see it moving slower, much more slowly than it was before? Slowly, I mean the frequency was slower. So I could not make that thing go faster. If I pull faster, it just doesn't work. All right, so twist it up like this, and I started going. I have to pull and then let it go. Pull and let it go. When you first start it, pull and let it go. Pull and let it go. Pull and let it go. You have to go with its frequency. Pull and let it go. Pull and let it go. If I want to go fast and I just pull fast like that, all that happens is it goes down to nothing. So you have to follow it. So when it's bigger, it goes slower. All right. Now, another thing you can do, so you can make one however big you want. You can make another one that's like that big if you want. And you can make one out of cardboard, like fat cardboard. See how that works. In fact, let's do that. And I want to make one that's not round. I'm gonna make one that's I'm gonna make it a what's this called? Like a bow tie shape. Okay, and I'll poke the hole right in the center, or where you think the center might be. And then I'm gonna make another one on this other button. And once again, I'm going to try it with just a button. Try to understand this thing. It's a very small button. You just wind it up like this, and then you start pulling. Just a little jerk, and then let it wind, jerk it, let it wind. Let it. You can always stop, and it's all wound up, right? Pull it, stop. So with this project, you never pull and stay pulled. It just doesn't, you never have to pull like that. You always pull and then let it go. Wind it up, pull it, and let it go. This one's going even faster than the other button. Okay, and you could do interesting things with the button. You could try to shoot things across the room with it. You can make it run, you can make it. First it's going one way and it's going the other way. Well, that's kind of interesting. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bow tie on it. I'm going to put it on just like the last time. And put it through the hole. And then I'm going to put the glue on the button so it's the right size, away from the string. Pull the string on there, and there it is. You could even put some more glue around the button if you think it's not gonna stick on there well enough. Okay, and now you gotta start seeing if it's gonna be balanced. I can see that this part's gonna be bigger than this part, so I need to cut a little bit more out. I think I'm gonna cut a little bit like that. So now it seems like it's gonna be balanced. But I don't know, you gotta try it first. So I got my button now, and my thumb's through there again, and put it in the center, más o menos. And it's a little bit twisted, so I'll untwist this side till it's good. See, and then you wind it up and let it spin. Whoops. Wind it up. Let it spin. Oh, it's working. Whoa! The string broke. By the way, if your string is too thin, you can double your string. You can use double the amount of string. This one could be that thin, but I was pulling pretty hard. I won't pull that hard. You shouldn't have to pull hard. If you're pulling too hard, it means you don't have the rhythm right. If you get the rhythm right, you never have to pull very hard. All right, get it straight again. Okay, wind it up. There it goes. And it's working. But you can see how it's not, it wiggles a little bit. And that means that I don't have the button in the very center. It's off center a little bit. So it still works, but not very well. So now I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna say, where's like the fattest part that's making it off center? And I think it may be one of these corners down here. Actually, this corner is fatter because it comes in slower. You can see it's easier to make round ones, but sometimes it's more interesting to have one that's not round. And try to make it balanced around there. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. If you stop it when it's wound up, then you don't have to wind it up again at the beginning. All right, that's working pretty well. But sometimes it takes 3 or 4 or 5 times of tweaking it to make it spin. The minute you let go, it always finds its own center. But when you're pulling on it, sometimes it doesn't have the center there. Right? And if it doesn't work, if you cut it 2 or 3 or 4 times and you never get the center, rip it off. Make another one. Doesn't matter. All right. Now you can put little designs on that, just like the color spinner you made with the motor. You could put, whoops, I pulled too hard again. You could put little designs that mix together. And the other thing you can do is to put little notches on it. So I'm gonna put a little notch on this one every so often, like this. And then I'm gonna bend them out. I'm gonna bend one way and one the other way. One way, one the other way, one way, one the other way. Okay, and then I'm gonna see what that does. Twist it this way. Twist and twist. Really, when you first start, they should be going straight across like that. Okay, then you wind it up. Pull it. You hear that? That's the Zunzun sound. Zoom, zoom, zoom. You can make them a little bit bigger and it'll make a little bit more buzzing. And you can also use this to try to shoot things. This one shoots it this way, this one shoots it that way. Woo! Little things shoot better. And you could even go to your buddy and try to have a little war, a little battle with your little Zunzuns and try to mess up their Zunzun if you want, if they agree. Don't mess up anybody's Zunzun if they don't want to be messed up. All right, so the very last thing you could do, if you want, is put on the palito handles. You get your little palito, and you could put it on the end, and it makes it easier to hold, doesn't hurt your thumbs. Okay, so you could put them on any way you want. You could just stick it on there, you could tie it on, but there's one really elegant way to do it, and that's with this knot we often use for the rubber bands. You put the thing over, and then you put it through itself. You put the whole thing through the loop, and there it is. So it looks like that on the palito. And then you do the same thing on the other side. But there's a better way to do that. If you put your 2 fingers through like this, check this out. Just come apart and come down like this, come back together. Now you pull that off, and that's where the palito goes. Where's my other palito? Goes right in there, and there it is. And now you can hold it like this. You can actually pull it a lot harder this way. Of course, your string might break, but the main thing is it's more comfortable to do it this way. You can hear my Zunzun. Zoom. Zoom. And you could try bending them some more. Cut them a little bit bigger. Put them all in one direction, or have them one going one way, one going the other way. If you make them too big, it's not gonna work. It's gonna be pushing on too much air. Ooh, that's making a nice noise. Oh, it makes a different noise in a different direction. Because look at it very carefully. First it's going one way until it stops, then it goes the other way. Oh, very nice noise. Right, so there's sort of two different speeds you can talk about. You can talk about the speed of how often you're pulling it, like zoom, zoom, zoom. And the other speed is how fast it's actually going. It's got some speeds called the angular speed of how fast, how many rotations per second that it's making. Right, so the harder you pull it, the faster that angular velocity, angular speed is going to be. But that's completely separate from the speed of how often you pull it. It's more, you could call that a frequency, how many times you pull it every second or every minute. Right, so this is good science, but it's also good fun. All right, I think that's it.